Hi, everybody. Thanks for the introduction, Brian. Similar to everybody else, I'm going to be making some forward-looking statements today, so I'd encourage you to take a look at our website or presentation. So Thesis Gold, we're purely focused on our Lawyers Ranch project, which is gold, silver, epithermal, late-stage exploration development asset in north-central British Columbia in what is the historic Toodoggone mining district. It was an active jurisdiction during the late 80s, early 90s, and so it's effectively a brownfield development site, and as a result of that, the infrastructure in the area is fantastic. We hold a just shy of 500 square kilometer land position that we've slowly built up over the last kind of 6 years. When we acquired the project in 2018, it had about 100,000 ounce resource, kind of around that historic mine. And what we've managed to accomplish over the last 6 years is systematically grow that resource with very targeted exploration through to 4.7 million ounces. And you can see that there, 4 million ounces as in the measured and indicated category, at about 1.5 grams, and that's primarily in an open pit with some underground as well. But good grade, fantastic jurisdiction, and following that, last year we put out a new PEA on the combined Lawyers Ranch asset, looking at both the open pit and underground, with some phenomenal project economics that I can get into here. And we've done all this over the last 6 years with whilst building a very strong relationship with our member nations in the area. We had advanced exploration agreements with all of the four nations. As I mentioned, brownfield development sites, so the infrastructure is fantastic. You can access it a number of ways. Primarily access through Prince George, and driving north to the project is probably easiest. You can see that on the inset map on the left-hand side there. You pass through Centerra Gold's Kemess copper gold porphyry project and continue on the road up to our assets. You can see there in gold. We've been actively upgrading that road network over the past couple of years as well. We put in 6 new bridges. There's an airstrip just to the south of us that we use. And there's a power line tie-in that's fully green hydroelectric power at Centerra Gold's Kemess mine. It's only 45 kilometers away. So in terms of infrastructure, it's pretty turnkey. The other nice thing about this part of British Columbia is that we're a few hundred kilometers inland from the coast, so we don't have to deal with the rugged topography that we have here. We don't get the 30 feet of snow every year. It's essentially subalpine to alpine plateaus with broad rolling valleys between, and that just logistically makes it easy to operate, easy to build a mine. And with the limited snow that we get as well, I think last year during the winter months, we had about 50 centimeters of snow on the ground. So in terms of operating an open pit, it's very straightforward. Okay, so to recap on our kind of transformative PEA that we put out in September this year, you can see the highlights there in gold and for 2024. 2022, the column next to it was looking at just an open pit only scenario, and you can see the improvements that we've made over the course of just 2 years. So the commodity prices that we used in September, 1930 gold and 24 silver, so very conservative given where we're at today. But if you go down a few lines from there, what that generates for us is an after-tax NPV of 1.3 billion, a 35% IRR with a 2-year payback. And really, that is driven by, you can see the bottom line on that there, just over 3 million mineable ounces that are giving us a 14-year mine life, where we're producing over 200,000 ounces a year, 215,000 ounces a year life of mine at very good grades. And that actually breaks down to about 165,000 ounces of gold a year and about 4 million ounces of silver. So for any of you out there that are more bullish on silver, we have 93 million ounces of silver on this project. It's about a quarter of the value, and it just, I think there's probably a lot more torque in silver going forward here than there is in gold. So a lot of upside on the silver alone. Okay, so the scenario we were just talking about is what's on the left-hand side of the screen here. That's our kind of base case scenario. And you can see, given where we're at today, somewhere between the spot case and the higher case on the right-hand side. And the project economics at this point are just truly fantastic. Where, I mean, if we look at 2,500 gold and 30 silver, you're looking at 2.25 billion after tax, a 53% IRR with a 1.3-year payback, and arguably even today with actual spot prices, it's going to be more impressive than that. But I think for me, what's more encouraging is that, I mean, even if you look at the lower case scenario here, a 1,750 gold and 22 silver, the numbers are still really good. I mean, we're just shy of $1 billion in NPV. The IRR is 29% with a 2.4-year payback. So this project works under a range of commodity prices. This image here just does a very good job of kind of illustrating what I was talking about earlier, where the topography really works in our favor. It's flat, easy to build a mine, and spatially, this project works very well. The deposits, you can see them, they're all located within a couple of kilometers of one another, and the proposed mill site is right in the center of the open pits. Waste rock on the far side, tailings just on the south in one of these nice big broad valleys. And then the ranch deposit, which is really our blue sky potential, is about 25 kilometers to the north on that access road that you can see there, and material will simply be trucked to this kind of centralized milling facility. So logistically, very simple to operate in a fantastic jurisdiction where the infrastructure is essentially in place. So 2024 was a pretty transformative year for the project. That really kicked off in just late February, where we appointed Bill Lytle as chairman of the project, the company. He is currently the COO of B2 Gold and has helped build their mines over the last 25 years. So he has that pedigree. And I think he's going to help us avoid a lot of the mistakes that juniors typically make as they transition from exploration through to development. And then through the spring, some fantastic drill results coming out from the late 2023 on the Ranch project, 20 meters over 11.5 grams gold equivalent from one of our exploration zones. New resource in May at 4.7 million ounces. Fantastic metallurgical work completed in June, where we're seeing 95% gold recovery, 92% silver. The metallurgy here is about as vanilla as it gets. It's very straightforward. There's no deleterious elements. We had a big exploration program through the summer where we also completed basically all of the on-site work that's required through the feasibility level. We've effectively completed all of the baseline work across the project as well. New exploration permit. And then in September, the new PEA. And typically those are kind of historically have been an event where they've not lived up to expectation. They're a liquidity event and companies have sold off, but you can see the strong stock performance post-PEA. And then more strong drill results from that summer campaign, a new discovery at Ranch, and then finished the year with a strong private placement where we're sitting on about $11 million in cash at the moment. So where do we go from here? We just announced that we've initiated the PFS. It's going to be a Senko and mining plus lead. And because we've already completed so much work on site, that'll be complete late Q3, early Q4 this year on an accelerated timeline. We're also about to commence the EIA, the permitting process, and we're getting prepared for another big drill campaign on the project that, again, will be primarily focused on our Ranch asset to the north, where we're looking to make discoveries, grow that resource, and test the epithermal and porphyry potential. In the interest of time here, I'm going to skip over this, but really it's just to say at Ranch, we're at about 700,000 ounces, but there's a lot of upside that remains. It's within, the known zones of mineralization are within probably a 40 square kilometer high sulfidation epithermal alteration system. And there's a very good correlation between the size of the alteration system and the gold endowment of these high sulfidation systems. We've really just scratched the surface here. There's a ton of upside. For those of you who have been following the story for a while, you've probably seen me present on this. And firstly, what I want to do is congratulate our neighbors, AMARC, on a fantastic new discovery in the Toodoggone district. They've discovered a new porphyry. Fantastic discovery. I think that's going to really demonstrate what the potential is of the Toodoggone. And I draw your attention to this. As I said, I've been talking about this for many years, but at Ranch particularly, the high sulfidation epithermal system that we have, there is no way to generate that without an underlying porphyry below it. And that is really the blue sky to the whole gold system that we have as well. With that, I'm out of time, but thank you very much.